almost forgot to make this video. Oh, silly Alina. I did not realize it was Monday. But now I know it is Monday, and I hope that everything is situated well and that what I did to focus at this time actually worked, because I wasn't actually looking at the little screen. I just came back from work and today was particularly hectic and we were missing a person, so I'm just really tired. Also, I had a sleepover with one of my friends from work yesterday, which is awesome. I showed her Treasure Planet and Atlantis for the first time. Like, some of the most underappreciated Disney movies. But sorry, I'm getting a bit off topic. So, the challenge for today was to show your favorite books that you were introduced to by BookTube. But this is the first time I have done BookTube, and most of the books that I'm using, I mean, I haven't read them yet, so I don't know which ones are my favorites. So, I guess I'll just kind of show you some of my favorite books. I can't pick out 3 of my favorite books, that is way too hard, but we can just kind of go with series. Okay, this is definitely one of them. So, here's Dark Materials by Philip Pullman. It's got all 3 of them and they're beautiful, and my uncle got me this box set and it's really lovely. I love this stuff on the front. So look at the pretty covers, and then you open it up and there's even more on the inside. Like, ugh. Anyway, I read these books for the first time when I was in 4th grade. And my 4th grade teacher had, sadly, she only had the 2nd and the 3rd ones. See, this one looks really cool on the inside. Sadly, she only had the 2nd and the 3rd ones, so I had to read them out of order. I enjoyed them immensely, but I was pretty confused, as you might guess. But eventually I read all 3 of them, and I really recommend it if you haven't read them. In addition to being a very good fantasy series, the author is a very interesting thinker. Like, I know he's offended a lot of people, but, you know, I would give it a try if I were you. Lord of the Rings goes without mention, Harry Potter as well. Dune, definitely. The Dune Chronicles. Like, I have, this was given to me, like, 3 years, no, I actually know exactly when it was given to me, because I took it on my 8th grade trip to Israel. It was given to me 5 years ago by my uncle. And, as you can probably guess, Dune is about a planet with a lot of sand on it, and we were in Israel, and I was reading this on the bus, so it was practically the perfect setting. And this book is pretty worn. I've read it so many times. I bought myself a collector's edition, well, sort of collector's edition, but like a fancy hardback version from Barnes & Noble, just because I love it so much. And then about a year ago, I realized that there are more. And more. And one more in the series itself. This is seriously a science fiction saga. Like, it is a classic, I would say. Oh. It's definitely a very, very big journey. I mean, I would almost put it up there with Game of Thrones in the sheer, like, density and information and world building. Even more world building than Game of Thrones, I would say, because even though Game of Thrones has a lot more characters, well, this has a ton of characters too, but this builds more than one world. So that's 2. What should I do for the 3rd one? This is really hard. I'm just going to go with Neil Gaiman, because he's a fantastic author. So, the first book I read by him was Stardust, because I found the movie, and I thought it looked cool, and then I realized it had a book. And dude, this is also one of those cool ones. This is an amazing book. I really recommend it. There's one part, very slight, that if you're, like, younger, it might weird you out, but it's, like, PG-13. It's not anything bad anyway. And I have so many of his books, and they're all really amazing. This one's very, very fantasy. Then there's stuff like Neverwhere and American Gods that are more like, that, I don't know what to call this genre. It's kind of, it's not fantasy because it's fantasy elements introduced to our world, or like the modern world. So it's very, very interesting, especially if you like mythology. Go with American Gods, and I am a big mythology geek. And after American Gods comes Anansi Boys, and I have that as well. And then I have a book of his short stories, which is amazing. I just love short stories. And his book that he wrote with Terry Pratchett, you probably heard of this. This is hilarious. It is also amazing. I recommend it highly. And then, of course, there's Sandman, which is a series of graphic novels, one of which I'm reading. Oh, they're not graphic novels. It's more like, it's not, I wouldn't call it comics either. It's like short stories written in comic form. Like, I can show you some of the art style. Oh, I love the art style so much. So, like, it's fantastic. And it's also got a bit of mythology in it. I really, really like it. So, I guess that's it for today. Bye.